A very good evening, everybody. So we'll be starting off with the business session today. And the first update is from the VPP, Vice President of Membership, Toastmasters, Shiva. So Vice President of Public Relations,
Good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests, especially to the members. As you all know, the quarterly newsletter is due at the end of March, and the theme of the newsletter is fight or flight. So basically, it's all about all of us face difficult situations in life, and whenever that situation is there, you choose whether you want to fight or whether you want to fly away. Right? It is all about that, and I request all the members to contribute articles with regard to this theme and send it to me by the 20th of March. So there's only a week left, and the details will be again shared on WhatsApp. Thank you, and back to the question.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Next update is from the VPM, Toastmaster Ujwal, regarding membership.
A very happy evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. The membership renewal for the next term is open. So I kindly request all the members to renew at the earliest and have a successful term ahead. And the deadline for the same is 25th March 2023. And after the payment, kindly send the payment confirmation to me and Toastmasters Sai Snehal. Thank you, and back to you, President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ujwal. And the last update is from the Vice President of Education, Toastmasters Sanjana.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. So we are having an educational session on 27th of this month, and the educational session will be presented by DTM Nagaraj Rao, and the topic is based on voice modulation. So I request all the members to attend the educational session, and also the roles for next week meeting are open except for the role of an MC, and interested members, please contact me in order to book roles. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. That's all from business session. Sergeant, you can take over.
A very good evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and your esteemed guests here. If you had an option to choose between fictional life and real life, which one would you choose?
Fictional life.
Yeah. Everyone would obviously choose fictional because it's imaginary, it's fancy, it's glamorous. How many of you here have seen Bahubali? When we are seeing something fictional, we always feel we are the actors, or we are the directors, or when we are reading something fictional, we feel we are the authors. We imagine ourselves in that situation. The only place where you can be a Bahubali, a Barbie, a Frozen, Katappa, or Rocky Bai is in a fancy dress competition. Whenever we are seeing something real or something fictional, we are so involved that we forget to do some important things like keeping our phones on silent mode. So I request everyone to keep your phones on silent mode. All of us are either very realistic or are lost in our own imagination. But just add a little bit of fiction in your realistic life. Who knows, you might win an Oscar too. There's one person in this room who has the perfect blend of fictional world and real world in his life. He loves to read fiction and is extremely realistic. He is a BCom graduate and currently working in PwC. So please help me welcome the President Toastmaster Gaurav.
Very good evening, everybody, and I see a lot of guests today. So I request each and every guest to please stand up from where you are seated, and please introduce yourself as to how you got to know about Toastmasters.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Madhu. I'm working in a pharmaceutical company. I came to know about Toastmaster from past 3 years. I had one of my colleague was already a member of Toastmaster. So I wanted to join before that itself, but because of this COVID, this thing got delayed and I moved to my hometown. So back to Bangalore now. So again I joined here. I'm willing to join Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to us.
Hello everyone, I'm Zamir. I'm a developer relations engineer. I am based out of Bangalore. One of my friends had suggested Toastmaster long ago, and she suggested that I start with this club, and I'm here as a guest today. Happy to be part of this. Thank you.
My name is Shivaprasad and I'm from Jayanti pursuing from BA Psychology, and I get to know about Toastmaster from Suprabha, and I'm here for the chair of
Hello everyone, I'm Khushi and I'm from Jain University in BA in Psychology and Journalism, and I'm here because I want to learn public speaking skills and I want to know about Toastmasters from Suprabha.
I had such supportive friends in my life.
Good evening to everyone present here. My name is Abhishek and I'm pursuing my chartered accountancy right now. I'm basically also a footballer and I also do video editing as a side hustle. And I'm here today because my friend Sharanye has invited me. So looking forward to all you guys speak and all the best to you.
Good evening, my name is K Prabhakara and I'm an educationist. I'm associated with Ajay School of Education and my principal Balaji introduced me to this.
Welcome to us.
Hi and good evening everyone. My name is Nehzaleen and I'm a data analyst. I got to know Toastmaster from my manager who is DTM Shivaprasad, and so he asked me to improve my communication and public skills, so I'm here today. Thank you.
I welcome each and every guest and I hope you guys become members soon. So with this, I'll be jumping off with the minutes of the meeting of previous meeting 1203. So I invite Toastmaster Pavani.
A very happy evening everyone. Here are the minutes of meeting number 1203 held on 6th of March 2023. Theme commonality and individuality. Word of the week, repartee. The business session started at 6:28 p.m. and was chaired by President Toastmaster Gaurav. In the business session, the following points were addressed. President Toastmaster Gaurav, on behalf of Vice President Public Relations Toastmaster Shivaprasad, requested the members to contribute articles to the quarterly newsletter themed Fight or Flight. The articles need to be submitted by the 20th of March 2023. President Toastmaster Gaurav, on behalf of Vice President Membership Toastmaster Ujwal, requested the members to renew their membership fees of Rs 4,200 for the upcoming term by 25th of March by sending the payment confirmation to Toastmaster Ujwal and Associate Treasurer Toastmaster Sai Snehal. President Toastmaster Gaurav, on behalf of Vice President Education Toastmaster Sanjana, mentioned that all other roles apart from Master of Ceremonies and one speech slot were open for the next meeting. Interested members were requested to contact her for the same. The regular meeting started at 6:30 p.m. Acting Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Pavani started the meeting with an introduction about the theme and later handed over the charge to President Toastmaster Gaurav. President Toastmaster Gaurav opened the meeting, spoke on the theme and introduced the Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Raja. Master of Ceremonies Toastmaster Raja spoke on the theme and introduced the following role takers for the day. Timer Toastmaster Hrithik, Accounter DTM Evaluator, Grammarian Toastmaster Pavani, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Sushruth. The prepared speech session had the following speeches. Speaker 1 Toastmaster Lakshmi, attempting level 1 project 2, evaluated by Toastmaster Suprabha. Speaker 2 Toastmaster Sharanye, attempting level 1 project 4, evaluated by Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. The table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Jyothi and had 10 speakers in total. The general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Balaji AS. The winners of the week were Best Prepared Speaker Toastmaster Sharanye, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Suprabha, Best Table Topic Speaker DTM MU Bhatt, Best Role Taker Tab G DTM MU Bhatt, Best Role Taker MTG Toastmaster Raja. The President closed the meeting at 8:24 p.m., which was followed by the national anthem. Thank you, and back to you, President.
Is there any changes in the amount of 1203? If not, I open meeting number 1204. When it comes to fictional movies or fictional novels, when I was a kid, at that era, the famous fictional movie was Harry Potter. Okay. So when Harry Potter was released for the first time, the entire world was crazy behind Harry Potter. The fact that so many people started buying that round specs, and out of nowhere they used to started making that thunderbolt sign on their forehead saying I am the Harry Potter, started buying that wand and saying Wingardium Leviosa, all different kinds of spells. Even one of my cousin sisters, she's a very huge fan of Harry Potter. She has all the novels of Harry Potter when it comes, and she has even all the picture books of Harry Potter. She has all different kinds of wands. She has different kinds of that robes they used to wear. She's a very huge fan of Harry Potter. It's not just Harry Potter, like even when it comes to so many kids are such a fond of these Marvel characters. And in fact, if you ask me, do you remember the actor's name who played these Marvel characters? I don't remember anybody. I recognize a person saying he's Captain America, he's Iron Man, and he's Thor. I seriously don't know their actual names. So there is this scientific study which says fictional characters actually play a very important role in each and every one. They help people to connect emotionally and get inspired from so many fictional characters. For example, I love watching animated movies more than these real kinds of movies. And my favorite animated movie is called Coco. It's one of the best movies I ever watched. It's basically about how a family plays a very important role in each and every our life. Even though our ancestors are passed away, if we remember them, how it's going to impact our life. Watching that movie, I was in tears. After watching that movie, it gave me more value towards my family. I started valuing, respecting so many people in my family. So I recommend everybody to watch this movie if you're not. It's not just that I love this animated series called How to Train Your Dragon. One of the best movies I've watched. There's so many different kinds of movies. So when it comes to fictional characters, I remember one story from my own life experience. How many of you have watched this Kannada movie called Charlie 777? It's not just in Kannada, it's in different languages, so I recommend everybody to watch it. So in this movie, it's about a dog, a Labrador, which is called Charlie. It's about that dog and his owner, they go on an adventure, it's something related to that. I have 2 dogs at home, and both are lab. And I have a female and a male. And the movie, the character of the dog, which was played, is called Charlie. So Charlie is also a female. It almost resembles my dog as well. So my dog is called Caramel. So one of my neighbor kid, who was my neighbor, he just recently moved out of my neighborhood. So he's around LKG, UKG, he's around that age. So when he watched that movie for the first time, he loved Charlie. Okay? And when he saw Caramel for the first time, he thought that is Charlie. And whenever I used to take Caramel for a walk, he used to come running behind me saying that, oh Charlie, he used to yug my dog saying, I have tried explaining him several times that this is not Charlie, she is Caramel. I know they are both of same breed, but they are not the same dog. But still, whenever I try to explain him, he used to say, no, you're lying, I know you're trying to fool me around, but look, they both look the same, so this is Charlie. And once, he came to me and he asked, I saw Charlie 777 several times, is she going to make any other movie in the future? I'm like, she's a little bit tired after doing Charlie 777, so maybe in the future you have to wait for the second part or prequel movie. He's like, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've tried several times explaining him that this is not Charlie, it is caramel. But once it struck me that, when I was a kid, I used to believe that, Spider-Man is real, Superman is real. Maybe that kid believes caramel is Charlie. Who am I to stop him believing that? So for him, caramel is Charlie. So whenever sometimes he calls me as well, saying that, who is Charlie? I'm like, buddy is missing you a lot. Ensure you come to the neighborhood again so that you can, maybe you can be the next movie character with her in the next film. He's very excited to it. And when it comes to fiction, like we get motivated or inspired a lot, but there's even a negative side as well. So for example, again taking this movie into consideration, after the end of the movie they say that don't buy dogs, adopt them, because if you're going to buy a breed dog, so many dealers, what they do, they inject so many chemicals or these hormonal chemicals to ensure that the breed is very well known or the breed dog is healthy and all that, and in the future when the dog grows it might affect the vet. So basically they say don't go for breed dogs, adopt these street dogs. But it took sideways. People went crazy for Labradors after that movie. Everyone said, I want Charlie at my home, I want Charlie at my home. Labrador was costing 10k for one puppy, now it's cost more than 20k just because of this movie. So when it comes to fictional characters, it depends how we take the message watching that movie or reading about them. So with this, I like to introduce the Master of Ceremonies of the day. She is a final year computer science student at BMS College of Engineering. She enjoys playing chess and she also teaches chess to children. She loves music and she always looks forward to learn new things in life. With a huge round of applause, please help me welcome Toastmasters again.
Beyond the fiction or reality, there is the reality of fiction. Very good evening to all my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So the quote which I just mentioned, beyond the fiction or reality, there is the reality of fiction. When I quoted the same to my friend was like, what do you even mean by that? It's like you're trying to say, my name is Jayanti, Jayanti is my name. So let me tell you my perspective on this. Just a day ago, I was in my room with my friends and we were just redecorating my room. And that time, I was in my hometown, Gulbarga. So my friend was like, why are you even putting so much effort on this? Because you'll be barely here. And then she was like, it would be so good if in 100 years it is possible to just carry our rooms in our pockets. So it was just a random silly conversation. So the point here is that I feel that fictional shows and movies have a huge impact on our minds and helps us to broaden our creative vision. They give different perspectives and help us understand different point of views. I'm sure we all have our favorite shows and movies which transport us completely into a different world. Even though it's not real, we feel everything the characters feel. We cry when they cry, we are happy for them, and sometimes even imagine ourselves to be part of their world. I remember in school I was totally obsessed with fictional characters and the places which I used to watch, to the point whenever I was sad or even struggling with a very minute task, for example just lifting a heavy luggage or something, I used to think suddenly about the character scene, how strong they are and how they never give up, and that used to give me some sense of motivation. Beyond this, one more interesting aspect of this I feel is when fiction turns into reality. There is something very satisfying about being able to vision the laws of physics being totally bent or envisioning a massive futuristic cities. But I think it is more satisfying when you're able to see fiction turn into reality. There have been numerous instances like for example phones, 3D printers, holograms, which have been shown into previous past movies, but now they have come into existence in real life. Right now there are many scientists which even tell that or try to claim that there is actually physics which kind of tell about the possibility or probability of parallel dimension or parallel universe. Basically, it is the concept of multiple universes where maybe multiple of me exist with a completely different life. very unique experiment done by Stephen Hawking was that he once hosted a party. And the main fact was that he didn't invite anyone at all. And he rolled out the invitations just after the party. So the motive of this was to see about time traveling. So he wanted, if time traveling existed, only time travelers to join the party. But of course, as expected, nobody joined. So in our universe, there are many unanswered questions or answers waiting for the questions. In the end, reality or fiction, both are stories with infinite possibilities and opportunities. Now, let us fictionally time travel back to 1924 when Toastmasters was born. Toastmasters is a non-profit organization which was started by Ralph C. Medley in the year 1924. October 22nd at YMCA in Santa Ana, California, headquartered in Colorado. The purpose of this club is to help its members improve their communication and public speaking and leadership skills. The organization, which started as a single club with few members, today we are 300,000 members strong in 149 countries, serving through its 15,800 plus member clubs. A typical Toastmaster meeting consists of 3 sessions. The prepared speech session. As the name suggests, the speaker gets time to prepare for a speech on the subject of their choice as per the guidelines of the manual. Second, the table topic session. In this session, the table topic master will choose the speakers randomly and give a topic to which they have to give impromptu answers. The third session will be the evaluation session. This is the session where the speeches and the proceedings of the meeting will be evaluated and the feedback will be given. For a smooth meeting, we'll be needing a few supportive pillars called role takers. When I call upon the respective role taker, I request them to give a brief about their role for a better understanding of everyone. Firstly, we have the timeout Toastmaster Ravi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome to the guests. I love fictional movies and I'm a big fan of fiction. So let me do it in a fictional way. We all should be appreciative of the time that we are in. We are comfortably sitting inside this room, delivering the speech. Now imagine 500 years before, if you're a king or a queen, not a problem. It is still worth it to be in the 15th century. But imagine, I am a soldier standing in the battle zone with full of sweat and panic, looking at the enemy army. And then talking to the guy next to me, telling, bro, this idiot king always sends me first to the battle. I don't want to come to this battle. Looking at the enemy army, right? Bro, is that an elephant? I never seen such a big elephant, bro. What do we have here? Cows? He sent us cows to fight those big elephants. You know what? If I survive this battle, I'm going to kill this king myself. And then just standing there, right? But today, I'm going to be comfortably standing there and doing the role of the timer for prepared speeches, which is between 5 to 7 minutes. At the 5th minute, I will be showing the green card. At the 6th minute, I'll be showing the yellow card. And at the 7th minute, I'll be showing the red card. If you keep speaking beyond the 7th minute, I'll walk you out myself. It's not going to happen. Table topics, which is between 1 to 2 minutes. At the 1st minute, I'll be showing the green card. At the 1.5 minutes, I'll be showing the yellow card, and at the 2 minutes, I'll be showing the red card. And for the evaluation, which is between 2 to 3 minutes, at the 2nd minute, I'll be showing the green card, 2.5 minutes, the yellow card, and then the 3 minutes, the red card. I'll be giving my evaluation when called upon, and I'm so happy I'm in the 21st century and not in the 15th century. And back to you, MC.
Next up, we have our counter Toastmaster Ujwal.
A very happy evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. The purpose of an R counter is to note any overused words or filler sounds used as crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate interjections such as and, well, but, so and you know. Sounds may be or er. I'll give my report at the general evaluation session. Thank you and back to you.
Next up we have Grammarian Toastmaster Sai.
A very good evening, everyone. It might be in fiction or real. A very good communication is much needed, and for that we need to have good grammar skills. As a grammarian, my main role is to make note of good usages and not so good usages for betterment of communication. It is also my duty to introduce the word of the day, that is gumption. I repeat, the word of the day is gumption. The meaning would be common sense, cleverness, or wisdom. The one way we could use it is mix a little sincerity and gumption in your hardline approach. Perhaps you will get somewhere and not antagonize others. And I'll submit my report when called upon by the General Evaluator. Thank you, and back to you.
Next up, we have PT Evaluator, Toastmaster Prashanth.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I request the speakers to avoid speaking on sex, politics, and religion. I also request the members to enter or exit only during applause. Third, I request members to avoid any kind of crosstalks because it will actually kind of disturb the speaker. So I'll report during evaluation session. Over to you.
Moving on to the first session, the prepared speech session, we have two speakers for today. Before I call upon the first speaker, I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Pavani, to read out the project guide.
A very happy evening, everyone, and Toastmaster Suprabha in particular. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance a speech. Notes for the evaluator: during the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing their body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication, along with their vocal variety, including pace, tone, pitch, and volume. About this speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the members' awareness of their intentional and unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movement as well as movements that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Use this evaluation for speakers who have indicated they want to be evaluated on body language or body language and vocal variety. If the member has indicated they only want to be evaluated on vocal variety, please use the speech profile available on the PACE camp. I'll be giving my report during the general evaluation. All the best to the speaker, and back to you, MC.
The first speaker today is completing her Level 1 Project 3. She is a final year aviation management student and a professional Bharatanatyam dancer. She can teach dance in 10 different forms. Her hobbies include reading novels, dancing, and watching stand-up comedy. So please give it up for Toastmaster Suprabha with the speech titled That 1%.
A very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and guests. Well, before I begin my speech, let me brief you a little bit about myself. I belong to that 1% of the youth population who cannot relate to the rest of 99%, statistically speaking. And I do not bother to fit in either. And I do have a lot of friends, like my roommate and my PG friends. I am a complete extrovert and a social butterfly, but I absolutely hate socializing in parties or clubbing. I prefer socializing with people when they're sober. Yeah. Instead of drinking my problems away or smoking my problems away, I do something called as shadow work, especially for those of my intrusive thoughts. For those of you who do not know what shadow work basically is, it's a form of journaling where you get to the root cause of your problem. You explore the 7 different layers of vibes. But that's a topic for discussion for some other day. I do value friendships and relationships, but when it's broken, I do not post stories on my Instagram or WhatsApp wall just to taunt them. I am very particular and strict about my routine, when I sleep and what I eat. I do not look down or look up to people who do this, because you should have the gumption to know that people are entitled to live their own life. But my peers or those around me almost most of them hate me because of this, because you don't come across a lot of people whose screen time is less than 4 hours a day. There's a saying that if you want something with all your heart, the whole universe is going to conspire in helping you make you achieve it. I'll tell you one thing, that's the biggest lie you can ever listen to. You do not get what you want, instead you get who you are. What you do, what books you read, what you watch on the internet, who you spend your time with, what you spend your money on. Habits. Those tiny little things you do on an everyday basis. Well, you have habitual drinker, habitual reader, habitual toastmaster like our dear President Gaurav. These are the ones who chose to do a particular thing again and again consistently. I came across this post, source unknown, that is, you need 5 habits in life. 1 is to make you money, 1 to keep you active, 1 to keep you creative, 1 to build your knowledge, and 1 to evolve your mindset. To quote James Clear, the author of my favorite self-help book, that is Atomic Habits, with better habits, you can be better yourself. With the same habits, you'll end up with the same results. Coming back to how I do not relate to most of the youngsters and their problems, I might be too young to be giving out advices to this set of crowd, but this is not really an advice. It's more of my perspective on life, or how I want my life to be. And a few of you might not even believe that I'm actually like this, but my roommate is sitting right there. You basically can ask her about my routine. So, since you all know there are 2 types of communication, at least I believe that there are 2 types of communication. Since you all are Toastmasters, you'll be well aware with the first type of communication, that is public speaking. There are courses, clubs basically teaching you public speaking skill. And I'll tell you one thing, it is very easy to learn public speaking because it is a skill. Meaning anything that is a skill can be easily built upon through practice. You don't have to necessarily be born with a particular skill. But the second type of communication, which is rarely spoken about and which is something I specialize in, and that is something how I don't let praises to my head and criticism to my heart, that is the communication you have with yourself, aka the self-talk or the inner talk. The quality of self-talk determines the quality of your life. So when I tell this, start trying to treat yourself like the person you love. What is the first thing that you tell yourself as soon as you wake up? Do you tell, oh God, yet another day, I hate my life, why God, why are you giving me this sort of life? Or do you have an optimistic approach towards your life? That is, I'm so grateful to be having this life, or I'm grateful to be alive to enjoy all that life has to offer. So when I say start treating yourself like the person you love, what advices do you give the person you love when they're going through hard times? You'll of course tell stuff like, you'll get through it, you'll be okay, don't worry, right? But when you yourself go through the same things, why beat yourselves up? When your friend tells you that he or she is insecure about their looks, you cheer them up or you remind them that they're beautiful in spite of their non-existent flaws. But when you get dark circles or acne, why do you question your self-worth? You cannot take disrespect that is done on your parents, but when someone treats you with disregard, why do you think to yourself, oh, maybe I am stupid? Start treating yourself like the person you love. And I know a simple formula to beat this up. Tried and tested, I do this every time. That is basically SOS. So every time you have a negative thought or you start talking negatively to yourself, start with the first S. That is to stop. Stop right there. Don't give it in. Don't get into the habit of talking bad about yourself. The next thing is O, that is observe. Observe or be more mindful or aware of the patterns that you're thinking. And the last S stands for shift. So basically, if you're telling yourself that I am not enough, say stuff like I am more than enough. So the next time you come behind the lectern, if you have a speech or you're called by the table topics master to talk on a table topic, instead of telling I'm so nervous, what if I mess this up? Say stuff like I'm confident, my words flow with ease. So relentless, repetitive self-talk is what describes your self-image. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suprabha, for your speech. Moving on to the second speaker for today, I request the individual evaluator Toastmaster Lakshmi to read out the project guidelines.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome dear guests. And a special evening to Toastmaster Ajay in particular. Toastmaster Ajay today will be delivering his Level 1 Project 3 speech under the pathways Engaging Humor. The purpose statement of this project is for the member to determine their style of humor and apply it to a speech that centers around the central message. Notes for the evaluator: the member completing this project is working on to develop their ability as a humorous speaker and to better understand their own sense of humor. The member will deliver a well-organized speech. The speech should not be a report on the content of the Engage Your Audience with Humor project. I wish the speaker all the best, and back to you.
Today, moving on to the second and the most exciting session of the meeting, the table topic session. Today's table topic master is a lawyer by profession who has just been catching metro trains from past couple of months just to reach the courts on time. She's someone who loves working out and listening to podcasts. She believes that a plate of masala puri would fix a bad day. So please give it up for today's table topic master, Toastmaster Sanjana.
Once again, a very good evening to fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. So, welcome to this very exciting and thrilling round of table topics. So, by now, all of you must be knowing the purpose of table topics, but in the interest of the guests, I would like to reiterate that the motive of conducting a table topic session is to enhance one's communication and speaking abilities in order to be better speakers. So today, I will be giving you those questions and asking you those questions which I'm genuinely trying to find answers for. So it is your turn to answer my questions, probably come up with a witty and a quirky reply. So without any delay, let's begin with the first topic. So as you all know, the least favorite seat in an airplane is definitely not the window seat, where you can see the clouds and the miniatures of the buildings, and of course not the aisle, where you can see the beautiful faces of cabin crew members. So it has to be the middle row. So I want to know the ways in which you can beat boredom while sitting in the middle seat. So I want to ask this question to Toastmaster Mohnish.
Very good evening to our fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, and thank you, Table Topic Master, for this tricky question. Well, I think the center aisle is one of the most boring seats, mainly because you don't have space, and if you don't have a TV, it's even more boring. Well, I think the only thing what we can do is to turn to this side and talk to someone on the other side. Well, as a matter of fact, I think 3 months ago, when I was flying to Jaipur, I guess. So I was in the same situation where I was in the center aisle, and there was nobody on my right, but there was this person on the left, and he was sleeping. Okay, so I didn't want to disturb him, obviously. So the flight was around 2 hours. So he slept straight 1.5 hours. I don't know what he did. So 1.5 hours he's sleeping. So I was just, trying to read a book, but you can't really read a book on a flight, I guess. For a while you do, but after that, all the turbulence and all, you lose interest. Well, I don't know how that 1.5 hours went. I just tried to kill time, and it's very uncomfortable in the front too. After 1.5 hours, the person next to me started coughing a lot. Then I realized he had a mask the whole time, and I think it was during that COVID, another wave of it. So then when he woke up, I had nothing else to do, so I started eating his head. So I started talking to him. Turns out that he was a big executive. He was going for a talk, and then I think I found it really surprising that you can actually have an interesting conversation with anybody on the flight. So I think that is what I would do. Probably I didn't give you a quirky or a smart answer, but I think I gave you thank you and back to you.
Well, thank you, Toastmaster Mohnish. If not quirky or smart, it was definitely interesting. Moving on to the next topic. So I'm very curious to know the problems faced by millionaires. As we all know, money solves most of our problems, if not all. But I would also want to know the problems faced by millionaires. So I would like to give this topic to Toastmaster Jyothi.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The problems faced by millionaire. I think millions of people face this problem, how to become a millionaire. So, we all think money creates problem and money is important. And I agree with that. I like this phrase which was told, first earn so much of money and then say money is not everything. So I have a question to myself. What and how much is the money to make to understand money is not everything? And hence, maybe the millionaires, I disagree that they have too many problems, because they create lot of employment, and through this employment, I think somewhere they give away their problems to those other employees to make revenues, to bring business. And where do these millionaires have problem? When it is the problem is of the CEO, of the marketing manager, or the sales manager, or the employees who have to do the field work. All in all, it's not only the millionaires who have problem. I mean, what particular type of problem are we talking about? Problem could be anything as simple as what do I cook at home, roti or rice. So that itself is also a big problem. I am not sure, but I think I still have to talk because my 2 minutes is not over. Well, with my 2 minutes getting over, I think my problem is solved for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jyothi. But I also would like to add an interesting insight for the same. I feel the problem faced by a millionaire is the struggle to be a billionaire. So, along with that, an enormous amount of adultery involved. So, nevertheless, let's just jump to the next topic. So, I would like to admit the fact that even if I have a whole lot of jeans, a pile of jeans, I only end up wearing one pair of jeans. And I'm sure so many people in this room would be relating to my problem. So I would like to ask if you are one of those people, in spite of having a pile of jeans, you just end up wearing one pair of jeans. This topic goes to Toastmaster Ujwal.
A very happy evening to all the fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Thank you, Table Topic Master, for giving me this topic. But I think you have asked the wrong person, because regarding the genes, I mean, I don't have so many genes, because right now I'm having 4 genes. That's it. I mean, I'll explain you carefully why I have 4 genes. So 1 gene is for normal day, for the college, or even for Mecon, if I have not taken any big roles. And 1 gene is for that is very much new, and then I have kept it for speeches, or if I take up big role like MC or GE, something like that. And the other one again, it is a white color, so white color genes just for going for outing with families and functions. So I mean, I don't have so many genes, so I can manage with it. So yeah, this is my take on the topic.
Well, that definitely was quite a funny response. And I have an interesting question. So this is why do people driving a manual car ridicule the idea of having an automatic car, and ridicule it as if it feels like driving a Honda Activa or riding a Honda Activa? So I would like to give this topic to Toastmaster Prashanth.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. I have been driving manual for the last 17 years. So, in between, though I had an opportunity to drive, automatic cars, I've ended up braking it suddenly, applying brakes suddenly. The thing is, I'm not able to overcome, because I keep, overthinking, continuously. So I am quite, hesitant. I really can't be very sure that I can smoothly drive. So though I have many opportunities to drive an auto, I'm very hesitant, and I just kind of be safe with what I'm driving now. Yeah, over to you.
Well, I would like to say that I'm team automatic, and it's definitely hands-on the best invention. And moving on to the next topic. So this is an interesting question too. So the question is, did the system of Airbnb disrupt the hotel industry? And I would like to give this topic to Toastmaster Ankita.
Hello everyone, very good evening. I think it's been ages since I have come behind the lectern now and taken up a table topic response. So as nervous as I am, I'm just going to give this a shot. I think the whole idea of Airbnb might not have disrupted the hotel industry, because it's given very good competition to people out there who are hiking up the prices and charging extravagantly for hotels. But again, that being said, I feel that if a particular hotel is highly priced, there's also a reason to it. So I remember I went to Goa and was staying in an Airbnb. And in the same month, I went to Hampi with my family for a vacation, and we were staying in this very beautiful place called Evolve Back Resorts, if you guys have heard of it. So now there's a contrasting difference, okay? And I obviously can't expect the prices to be anywhere similar, like between Evolve Back Resorts and between an Airbnb, right? So obviously, there's gonna be a difference in pricing, and the reason people are going to a particular hotel is different from why I would choose an Airbnb. So I personally believe that you make your choices depending on your circumstances and your situations, There are phones out there in the market that cost like a 4,000, but there are people who are buying an iPhone worth 1 lakh plus, right? That doesn't mean that these mobiles worth 4,000 have disrupted the entire cell phone industry as such. So I think it comes down to your affordability, what you're looking for, what are you expecting this product or service to give you, and that's how it's priced, and that's the kind of audience it attracts. So I don't think that the Airbnb has disrupted the hotel industry in any way. I feel that it has in fact given an opportunity for people who have lesser budgets to go out there and travel in their budget, and there are still people who are willing to spend like a 1 lakh per night for a room, and that's also an industry that's flourishing and running as good as it was before. So that's my take on the topic. Thank you.
I second you in that. In fact, the whole concept of Airbnb has further given a boost for tourism, which has improved the profits in the hotel industry. So the next question is something that I always struggle with. So the next question is, no matter how focused we are in life, when it comes to keeping a track of cooker whistles, we always fail. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Sindhushree.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. My mom watches this recording every week, and I'm very sure as soon as she hears the topic, she's gonna tell 100%. How much, there are times when my mom told me I was like doing some work or I was casually watching TV, and she told me it's just 3 whistles. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, okay, cool, I can do this. And I was watching the show, I thought, okay, 1 whistle done. I continued watching the show, and I was like, 2 whistle done. And at some point, I don't know if it was the 3rd whistle or the 4th whistle. And I was so scared that my mom would come back and reprimand, and I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do now? And I just did this, so I just switched it off, irrespective of whatever it was, whether it's cooked or not. If it was uncooked, it was my responsibility to cook it again. If it was cooked well, then I'm like, okay, job well done, and I just go back. So there are times, somehow this gets related to this topic where, every single day, you're focused 100% on doing something. But irrespective of however focused you are, your mind deviates. And that's exactly the reason why Instagram is flourishing so amazing. Every time you just take a small break and think, I'll scroll for 5 minutes, you're there for an hour. So probably that is something that is relatable over that. So however focused you are, there's always a little bit deviation that is required, probably that is to bring you back to life and make sure that you get to do amazing later. Or always reciprocate, you can always make up by cooking the rice again, irrespective of how many visits it is.
Well, I completely agree with you, but I do not want to get into the business of re-cooking the rice again. So, since it is the month of March, I'm very eager to know your first time filing taxes. So I would like to give this topic to Toastmaster Raja.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I remember, I think 7 or 8 years back, I was from Dubai and I was in India, and I had to file my taxes, and I had no idea how to file the taxes. So I used to ask my colleague, how can I file these taxes, and what are those different calculations that are there in the taxes. Those calculations are so intense, like it's not easy. You just do this, you pay that. But the reason I did that, because I got the salary and I was like, this is not the salary I agreed upon. Where is my rest of my salary? They said it went in the taxes. I was like, I need to do something about it, right? Then I start looking at the different videos, how I can save the taxes. Like where all I can save these taxes, how I can cheat on taxes now. And not on that, but how I can, different legal ways of saving those taxes. And I came up with different ways of saving those taxes, but if I have to give some takeaway to you is, before you file the taxes, learn more about
how to file the taxes and where all you can save the money. Otherwise, it'll be like a big chunk of tax is being taken by. Then you'll start asking, right? You'll start asking, where is my money, and what is this government doing for me, right? So I think with that, I would like to end my session.
Well, Toastmaster Raja, you definitely can't evade taxes because you have a lawyer in the room. So, coming back to the next table topic, I would like to ask how to convince brown parents into getting home a pet. And this topic goes to Toastmaster Hrithik.
Can you repeat the question?
How to convince brown parents into getting a pet? Yeah.
Good evening to fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. So, convincing parents to get a pet is always something which I've done my entire life, and it's always been a challenging situation because they never agree on getting a pet, because they always end up telling that we are having one pet and we are happy with that, we don't want more pets. So, and so there's so many reasons that jokes apart, whenever someone tries to convince the parents to get a pet, there's so many reasons they give. They don't think the positive side of getting a pet, that can have such a positive impact in the family. Like if you're able to vibe with a pet in your daily activities, and it's a really good change in your mental state, and also helps a lot in a lot of family bonding as a whole, and including a pet in your family as a member, and has a really positive impact basically. So yeah, that's pretty much. Thank you.
My mother also had a similar answer. She said that you yourself are a dog, why do you require another dog? Coming back to the next topic, since we have a lot of guests in the room, I would like to have a member convince these guests to join Toastmaster, and this member would be Toastmaster Shivaprasad.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, and a very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Dear guests. Toastmasters is a place where you can improve your public speaking and leadership skills. All that is there, of course. But look at me. I have become such a good speaker because I've been here for 1.5 years, right? And you can come obviously to cheer your friends sometimes. I wish I had friends like Suprabha, right? But at times come for yourself also, right? All the clubs in and around Bangalore, we have a lot of clubs. But there is one special club. There is one club that has a special place in my heart, and that is Mekon Communication Club. I go to different clubs, I see other speakers, and we go to contests, we judge contests in other clubs, and the standard that I see in my club is unparalleled. Right? This club has been around since 1998, and also I must tell you that we don't charge too much. So it's definitely a great prospect, can change your life. I would recommend joining Toastmasters. I hope that has convinced the members. Back to the table talks.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva. Well, the VPM, you already had an in-house COTP session here. So the next topic is, okay, this is something I'm guilty of doing, And the topic being, why do we automatically make that switch from talking in a local language to speaking in English once we enter MG Road? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Sai Snehal.
Topics master, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I was in an elevator in UBCT and I had to go to the 4th floor. There were 2 girls behind me and I was with my friends. And obviously, if you remember the Imperial Blue advertisement, we were just being men. We didn't do anything. We were just standing with all the pride. We didn't do anything. And one of the girls breaks the ice and she talks to her friend. You know what? Need you go to the pub? Sorry, too late. And I'm like, that's too fancy. It doesn't sound Indian or even Kannadiga by any means. I'm not judging anybody. But that was the first impression I got from that conversation that I heard. And I got off the wrong floor. And they clearly had to get down in that floor. And I had to go to the next one. So I waited for the lift and they had to come down. The moment the lift opened up, the sentence that I hear made me realize that how people switch the moment they're in a fancy place and in front of people they don't know. It says, "Hey, bare, bega hona." I did not take the lift, I just took the stairs and went back up. We all do this, irrespective of the place and situation. When we think we are beyond our comfort zone or some place that we are not familiar with, we try to act like we are better than where we come from. We change our accent, we act like we are better. We do a lot of things that generally we don't do in normal circumstances and situations. This is general human tendency. No one is at fault. We all do that. But how you can switch and act natural, is that what really differs you from the regular people? If you can actually do it, maintain a general equal person, whether you're in MG Road or in Shivaji Nagar slum, you will be the great person. Back to you.
That definitely was a pep talk, and thank you for that. Moving on to the next topic. So the topic is, why are soft skills in optimum demand by the recruiting team? And this topic goes to Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. Soft skills, they are in demand at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters. Welcome, guests. Soft skills we need to develop to impress others. That is the main point that one needs to understand here. Whether we are expressing clearly or not is a question now. Are we developing soft skills for others or to develop internal communication skills or the confidence level? That one needs to decide. That is very, very important. All these training sessions which I have attended in my life only concentrated on the external development and external impression of it only. Very rarely I came across a trainer who really concentrated on my internal development as such, which really gives me a confidence to face life head on. Instead of going or selecting the way in which West or Europe is teaching us, it is better to introspect and develop our own skill sets so that we face our life, our real life situations as and when it is required, so that we use our own skills for the development, growth and psychological strength, so that we reach a win-win situation. That is very important. Instead of following somebody, we develop our own skill set inside. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much for a reply filled with gumption. And Mekon Toastmasters is the right platform in order to fine-tune those skills. And moving on to the next topic, this is something, this has always challenged me, and I would want to know other people's view about the same thing. So, young adults fail at initiating small talks. So, I would like to give this topic to guest Abhishek. Yeah, why don't you just introduce?
Good evening, everyone. I didn't expect this, honestly, so this is a good surprise for me. I mean, so what topic again?
That we find it challenging to have small talks.
Okay. So as kids, we all are carefree. We don't care. We don't give a second thought about what others think about ourselves, right? If you feel like jumping, we jump. If you feel like saying something out, we say it. We don't think twice, basically. But as we grow up, as we mature, society fills in thoughts in our head about what to speak, how to speak, in what tone we should speak, and in what language you should use, what is appropriate, what is inappropriate. Like over here itself, like there are certain rules over here. So there's a certain way you speak outside Toastmasters, and a certain way you speak when you are over here. That is to maintain decorum, which is understandable, but also in the process, when you are in a certain place, you struggle to make small talk, like the way you would usually make, because of the rules which are in place in that environment, and because of which you are not completely yourself, but you also learn to deal with how you mingle with other people. So I believe it's not necessary to make small talk everywhere, because it's also subjective. Like some people are open to it, some people are not. So judge the environment, judge the person, and then make small talk. Thank you.
Thank you, guest Abhishek. In addition to that, I'm pleased to say that I have addressed that issue. So from avoiding that neighbor uncle to just doing coffee So this is something that I'm happy about. And moving on to the next topic. So this is an interesting topic too, which a lot of young adults find it necessary to question as well. So the question is, why is investing money in FD a redundant thing? And this topic goes to DTM K Prabhakara.
Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guest. Why investing in FD is redundant? I feel, first of all, it's not about investment, it's about savings. Let's make these things very clear. When you make savings, you make your life little secure and little safe, covering for uncertainty. It's your money, you want to hold on to it, at the same time earn some interest. And when you want to say it's redundant, today opportunities are there. It's a fast growing economy. You are prepared to take some risk, invest in some firms, and which are reliable, whose CEOs are reliable as per Forbes. He says, whichever may be the company, if the CEO is suspect, don't invest in it. First rule, Forbes. So, or if you want to play it safe investing, play it in, there is another thing called, what is it?
Mutual funds.
Mutual funds, okay, the right word. So it's a question of what you do with your money. I don't say FD is redundant. FD is the one that really makes sense and ensures that you are in the called cool waters without much of up and down. These are all jargons that goes saying that this is redundant, this fast growing economy. Always remember 2 or 3 things. Parek 1993 collapse, then Kamal Parekh I'm talking, and I'm talking of the 2008 prime subprime collapse all over the world, because all the brains, financial brains, made mistake of lending on subprime stocks. So don't believe in all these things razzmatazz, but hold on to what you have, and that is the only possession that that will not allow you to sing in times of hard times. Over to table topic, master.
Thank you so much for an insightful response. It surely made me ponder upon the other school of thought. Moving on to the next topic. This is something which is experienced by all Toastmasters. So the topic is thoughts you have before a table topic. And this topic goes to DTM Udanka.
Thank you for this interesting topic, Topics Master. So the thoughts what we'll be having before a table topic master is what is a topic. That's the common thing what we'll be having. So perhaps I would not say being a Toastmaster for a couple of years, I don't have thoughts before the topic, but I do get few thoughts after the topic. So once I've done talking about my topic and I go sit back there and I'm just recalling what I told, I will get few points that, oh, I could have told this point, oh, I could have told it this manner, or would this approach would be a better one. So these are the thoughts which we will get after the topic is given to us, after we have spoken to that. So prior to the topic is just, okay, one major everyone will be having, let me not take up the topic today. So that's one thing, majority of us will have that in our mind, it's not me, it's not me. Just keeping your fingers crossed, hoping the topic is not for you. And there are a few topics that comes as like, okay, I want to go for this topic, but unfortunately you will not be the topic speaker. So the same thing kind of experience I had just today, because I was not prepared that, because it was a more longer duration, I thought, okay, I'm sitting back relaxed, I don't need to speak, but all of a sudden I was being called, that's all I have to talk about. Back to you, Topics Master.
Been there, done that. So I would like to conclude this seemingly fun session of table topics. I had a really nice time conducting it, and I'm thankful for the answers I got. And I feel, at least I hope that there will be one person who has transformed from, oh no, why is she calling my name, to, oh, finally she called my name. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana, for that amazingly conducted table topic session. And thank you to all table topic speakers for incredible impromptu answers. Now let us have a small networking session and be back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. Now coming to the final and most important session of the evening, that is the general evaluation session. Today's general evaluator is a Toastmaster for the last 5 years at Macon. Presently, he is an entrepreneur dealing with contact lens and contact lens cleaning solutions. Earlier, he was associated with Novartis, a pharmaceutical company, for close to 2 decades. According to him, he's not comfortable and confident behind the lectern when it comes to table topics. So please give it up for Toastmaster Ravikumar.
Good evening all. Let us give a applause for the first 2 sessions, session 1 and 2, which took place very well. A big round of applause. You can continue the applause for the 3rd session to go well, and an applause for ourselves. This is the beauty of Toastmasters, that we encourage people, we applaud people, we do right, we applaud people even if something goes wrong, and the applause is a kind of a motivation that makes everybody more comfortable, and behind the lectern, there are people who find it difficult initially. Someone said it's a skill and there is an ability to learn and perfect it. So that is how the beauty of Toastmasters, for the benefit of guests who almost outnumber the members today. That was the situation. Now, the role of general evaluation. See, it's only in Toastmasters that you see that the entire proceedings is once again looked, evaluated, and good and bad things, not so good, good and not so good are discussed, and improvements, if any, are suggested. So, the general evaluator's role is to mirror the exact proceedings of the day so far, and also ensure whether the meeting took place as per the protocols, as per the practices of Toastmasters International. Now, about the theme, just a word about the theme. Initially I thought slightly complicated, what does it mean, like few others, but it's a good theme, and it was the end of the day when we make the theme little more simple and understandable, I think the job is done, half done. Fiction or real, it was a good topic. Meeting started today at 6:26 p.m. about 9 minutes late to our 6:15. About 11 minutes late to our 6:15. I think this can be improved if at all, and the committee to look into, and the speakers, MC, table topic, masters, they are all here little early so that the meeting starts on time and there is no delay. Business session started at 6:26 p.m. Now, Toastmaster Shivaprasad, he requested to contribute articles for the topic flight or fight before 20th March 2023. Toastmaster Ujwal reminded the members about the renewal, which should ideally be done before 25th, and he should be informed, and also Sandeep to be informed, Sai Snehal also to be informed. VP Education Toastmaster Sanjana discussed about education session, and the topic being voice modulation by DTM Nagaraj Rao. That is on March 26th. Coming to the role of Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sharanye. As we all know, the Sergeant at Arms kickstart the meeting, navigate the ship until the end. The meeting aroma remains in the hall, and she talks in that sense. Every speaker, every topic, and the direction is given by her. I think to the last extent, to the last minute, I think her job, whatever she did, I think the meeting is directed to that direction. And very good introduction of the President. I saw that a bit of humor was also sprinkled in your brief Sergeant at Arms role. Confident behind the lectern, eye contact could be noticed. A good job done by Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Sharanye. A big round of applause. Secretary's report was read by Toastmaster Pavani. Well read. Again, properly read. Each point of Secretary report was in place. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Pavani, please. I will go straight to the President's address. Toastmaster Gaurav, President. Introduction of guests was in place. Harry Potter's example was discussed little at length. Name of the characters, the scientific study that you said confirmed that fictional characters connect well emotionally. That was important because you need to highlight both fictional and real, and you should make the audience, fictional is also important. Fiction has emotions. Fictions, people take it a little seriously. People take it irrespective of the numbers, whether they are young or old. The fictional characters, when reading or when you watch on a TV or anything, there is a tendency that how if I were to be in that place. That happens to everybody, and that was well described. Then good presence behind the lectern. What I saw you initially and in the last 3 months. Very good presence, noticeable. More confident behind the lectern. And very good eye contact, and I could see that you were looking at everybody. And everybody felt that, that your speech is meaning to them. That kind of feeling was, you were not just stuck to a particular group and you were not saying, and you made it feel good. And everybody felt that President is addressing us and not a particular group. So that was well done. And important, you also engage the audience while making your speak. That's very, very important for a good speaker, and that was in place. The child story was good for this particular thing, and it went off very well. And you also said how a fictional belief can be so much reinforcing. You also sprinkled humor occasionally in your speech, and that's very important because you get immediate connect with you from the audience. Your speech certainly induced confidence among the guests and also convinced our own members a pretty good speech about the topic and how you articulated and how you did it. That was very important. Good introduction of the MC, that was done well. And suggestions 1 or 2. By this time, after 3 months, I think you can be a little more confident, little more courageous behind the lectern, and you can improve upon voice modulations. Such things I think you can do well. But all in all, a great President's speech. A big round of applause for President Toastmaster Gaurav. A big round of applause. Now, I'll get into Master of Ceremony, Toastmaster Jayanti. Your role is to conduct the meeting methodically as per the role of the MC. Meeting is the highlight, theme is the highlight, and MC conducts the meeting in such a manner that the role of the MC is not highly highlighted. That you did it very well, right? Then I request MC to, when it comes to number of clubs, number of countries that these clubs are available, how many members we have in Toastmasters, that also there is no need for you to read. I think you should be able to remember here and talk to the audience, and particularly to the guests. You will be more convincing when you say that without looking into the papers. That if you say this is the kind of clubs we have, this is the countries we have our club, and this is the kind of number of strength that we have. Lakhs of people are already, and why don't you? That could go very well. And all these things are very nice and very good. Some areas of improvement, you need to be little more clear and little more, the words are used properly. For example, Ralph C's middle was not pronounced well. You said medley. Okay. So we give a lot of importance to Ralph C's medley when we are here, because he is the person that the Toastmasters meeting do take place, and it is the origin of all that. So Ralph C's medley or whatever it is, you can be little more clearer, little more confident, and you have taken the roles even earlier, and you can be better. You need to get in little more confidence and courage within yourself to conduct this meeting. But for that, good introductions of speakers, that was good. You stuck to the theme very well. I repeat once again, the club details and those things can be, again, introduction of speakers was with comfort level and little more confidence. That is what I look for. So a big round of applause for Toastmaster Jayanti for having that MC's role done very well. Please. coming to Toastmaster Sanjana for the table topic session. Spoke about the topics and the session. Good topics and little different topics were there, so you could connect to the speakers well. You were confident behind the lectern. You are a senior, and transitions from topic 1, 2 to 3, that also went off well. And you also said that in the introduction that the ability to think on feet is what the role of the table topic session is all about. When it came to the topics, there was no need for you to talk a little more about the topic itself. You could have just said, say for example, I'll give an example, fixed deposit or mutual funds. Instead of giving some preamble to the topic, that is what you were doing. And what that preamble to the topic looked to speakers that it was a very lengthy topic. Incidentally, it was not a lengthy topic. The preamble can be avoided and only the topic can be thrown. Topics were relatable to speak, and lastly, you acknowledged the speakers that you spoke well for my topics. That was nice. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Sanjana. Now I call upon the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Pavani, to evaluate Speaker Toastmaster Suprabha's speech. A round of applause for Toastmaster Pavani.
A very happy evening everyone, and Toastmaster Suprabha in particular. I am elated to evaluate a social butterfly who prefers socializing with someone who is sober. So, first of all, I'll be evaluating your speech in 3 different parts, where you excelled at, where you can improve or challenge yourself, and I'll sum it up in the end. So, that was a fantastic topic which you have chosen. First of all, kudos to you on that. That is self-love and self-awareness. Wow, which I believe is such an underrated topic. And I could connect to your topics and speech so well, and you indeed brought a lot of mental nourishments that I can take back home. And wow, it was a motivational and an informative speech, both I could say. So you did not stop there. Firstly, you did not sound monotone, and your tone and pace was on track, and which was understandable for all types of audience and like for everyone here. So you narrated a short incident about your shadow work, that is journaling, and I think that was something most of us didn't know about that, and that's where you caught the audience attention. And you also gave us bits and pieces about the famous James Clear's Atomic Habits book and your perspective on life, and also about the 2 types of communication. And I'm definitely sure all of us knew the first type, that is public speaking, and second type, that is communicating to yourself, that just came out of the blue, and it was unprecedented, like I would say. And you did not stop there. You, at the end, you gave us the solution, SOS, that is stop, observe and shift, and that was absolutely fantastic. And you were also very comfortable behind the lectern, and you had great posture, had pretty good hand gestures as well. Also, you brought in a bit of vocal variety, that is the change in tone and voice. Having said that, let me come to the point where you can challenge or improve yourself. So you could have added in a few movements, that is when you told the first type of communication, you could have shifted this side, and when you told the second type, you could have shifted this side and told, so that you could have used the stage more freely. And coming to where you can challenge yourself is the vocal variety. See, the vocal variety is a element where you can play around and evoke the audience emotions. So that is what the project also calls for. And with your great, fantastic voice, I think you could have made much, like maybe you could have brought in some characters so that your speech would have been a notch higher. And I know you would have absolutely killed it. So, in a nutshell, you were convivial and you had clarity throughout the speech. You had great vocabulary also. The title, that 1%, which built in a lot of surprise for all of us. And I was really inspired by the quote which you mentioned. I don't take praises to head and criticism to heart. And this is something that I would always keep in my mind from now on. So let us have a huge round of applause for the therapist in our room. Thank you, and back to you.
Toastmaster Pavani, you have the skill of evaluation, and you also have the wonderful skill of listening. The way you have listened to her speech and each and every important point that you have reflected, I have nothing to add. All that I can add, because I am asked to do some additions, not unintentionally or intentionally, just to bring in humor. Timer, how much time she took? Timer, please, today.
She took 3 minutes 30 seconds.
You took 30 seconds more, that's all. Otherwise, a big round of applause for the speaker and for the evaluator. And today we also came to know that two wonderful voices we have in this room. The evaluator Pavani and also the speaker. Good, thank you so much. And now, I will call upon the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Lakshmi, to speak and evaluate Toastmaster Ajay's speech.
Great evening once again. Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. A special evening to you, Toastmaster Ajay. He who laughs lasts. So the opening was great. You appeared confused about your own title, your speech title. I don't know if you did that on purpose or it caught my attention. I'm like, really? He forgot his own speech title? But I think later I realized that you did that on purpose. Somebody else reminded it for you and you took off, and I think you grabbed a lot of people's attention that way. Now, immediately, right off the bat, you involved everybody in the audience. You asked them a question, you had a very relatable topic. Who is not happy about their work? That's almost everybody. 70 may be a very low percentage, I think it's more like 90. So most people will complain about something or the other at their work. It's their boss, their co-workers, whatever. You picked on the boss, which is a favorite topic, a great topic, because everybody likes to crib about their boss. You had funny one-liners, you had a lot of people participate. Your pathway is engaging humor. You were engaging the audience constantly. A lot of people were participating, they were replying. They were going along with you in the speech, so that was all great. You had many one-liners as humors after they answered, so that kind of set the audience, they were laughing and they were along with you in the speech. The next thing that humor has many types. So if I could say that, like, there are puns, there are one-liners, there is satire, there is sarcasm, you are a veteran Toastmaster. So while you're on this journey of discovering your style of humor, could you perhaps have tried more than one style in your speech? Is that something that you might want to think about when you think about your next speech? I really struggled to find something that I had to give you for constructive feedback where you could challenge yourself. This is one thing that I thought about, that maybe a speaker of your tenure and your time with Toastmasters, you could experiment with. Your body language is great. Of course, you are excellent at behind the lectern. You have a great presence. You're super comfortable. Stagecraft is your comfort zone. So that was great. You had humor interspersed entirely throughout the speech. You took a real life example. You did an experiment, and then you came out with a lesson, and you told everybody that this is the lesson I learned. Praise your boss unashamedly, every time, everywhere, about everything that he does, and you will do well in life and you don't have to work. So that's a great lesson for everybody to take away. Flattery will get you everywhere. So, and you ended well saying that sensibility should be kept aside when you go to work, and you should appreciate everything that your boss does and says, and then you will do well. So, great, you are on your way to being an excellent humorous speaker. I wish you all the best and look forward to your journey. Thank you.
Can I now request the members to fill in the ballot? I'll give a minute time. Should I presume it's over?
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. Now, coming to the Toastmaster Lakshmi's evaluation of speech of Toastmaster Ajay. Madam, very well done. You have picked all the points. You have highlighted the speech, the good things done, the good things spoken, and the confidence level behind the lectern. You also acknowledged Toastmaster Ajay as a seasoned speaker, and it's true that he has that knack of making a speech simple, even a complicated subject very simple. He is very, very confident and comfortable behind the lectern that I have seen. In fact, he is a role model. I would say that Ajay should not only just speak or whatever it is. If there is any value addition to the members that you can do, I think you should contribute, and that will be a huge contribution to you. As far as Toastmaster Lakshmi is concerned, a good evaluation. Each and every point you have discussed, nothing more to add. As far as when you were called for read out the guidelines of the speaker, you are not supposed to introduce the speaker. It's the MC's job. I have also done that mistake. The intent of telling this is we all make this simple mistakes, so that the Toastmasters meeting that becomes a little aberrance which can be avoided. Okay. Otherwise, a big round of applause for Toastmaster Lakshmi and to Toastmaster Ajay. A big round of applause. Thank you so much. So far so good. I now call upon the TAP G team to give their report. I call upon our counter, Toastmaster Ujwal.
Good evening once again. Here is my today's report. Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Sharanye was flawless. Toastmaster of today, Toastmaster Jayanti, 1 hour. TP Evaluator Toastmaster Prashanth, 2 hours. Evaluator Toastmaster Pavani, 2 hours. And Toastmaster Suprabha's speech was flawless. Toastmaster Ajay, the second speaker, had 2 hours. And one crutch word, 2 times. Table topic master Toastmaster Sanjana, 3 hours, 3 repeated word and 4 times. Coming to the table topic speakers, Toastmaster Prashanth, 2 hours. Toastmaster Ankita, 1 hour. Toastmaster Sindhushree, 2 hours. Toastmaster Sai Snehal, 1 hour. Toastmaster Hrithik, 1 small pause. And till now, General Evaluator Toastmaster Ravikumar, 4 hours and 1 crutch word, 3 times. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Ujwal, for that nice and elaborate report on that our counter. A round of applause for Toastmaster Ujwal, please, for that good job done. May I now call Grammarian Toastmaster Sharanye.
Thank you, General
Evaluator. A very good evening, everyone. Here is the Grammarian report for today's meeting. Coming to the good usages, it is intrusive, relentless, glorious, enormous, acknowledge, mental nourishment, unprecedented, convivial. Coming to the not so good usages, I could find only some. The first one being multiple of me could have been multiple roles I played. Give second thoughts could have been have second thoughts. Coming to the word of the day, that was gumption. It was used by two speakers. One was speaker number 1, Toastmaster Suprabha. The second one was table topic master, Toastmaster Sanjana. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharanye, for that nice report on the Grammarian's role. A big round of applause for Toastmaster Sharanye, please. May I now request Toastmaster Raja Timer to come and give this report?
General Evaluator has already talked about the start time, not going to go deep into it. But I found something, I'll just quickly share that. Few months back, we used to have our meetings at 6:30 p.m. and we used to start at 6:40 p.m. And now we are having at 6:15 p.m. We are starting at 6:25 p.m. Right? I think I got the problem. That is because we are following the Indian Standard Time. We need to put a bracket, saying not Indian Standard Time, the actual time. Right? Okay. So, being a crazy fictional fan, I'm going to take some inspiration from Quicksilver, okay, from Marvel, not DC, okay, not the Flash from DC. Sorry for the DC fans here. So I'm going to quickly run through that. The time is over there in the board. The speaker Suprabha took 6 minutes 40 seconds. Ajay took 7 minutes 30 seconds, and Pavani took 3 minutes 30 seconds, and Lakshmi took 3 minutes 8 seconds. And other than that, everybody was well on time, except two table topics speakers. And I was able to clock my time as well using the Quicksilver method. Over to you.
Until I say yes, I don't want anybody to clap for the timer. Timer has done a good job, A. B. Timer has also paid his income tax. It's a big round of applause for Toastmaster Raja. A round of applause. May I now request PP Evaluator Toastmaster Prashanth for your report.
Good evening once again, members and welcome guests. In today's meeting, none of the speakers spoke on sex, religion and politics, and even members entered and exit only during applause. But one thing is, I noticed there is a lot of crosstalks happening during the session. I request the members to refrain from doing crosstalks, as I already told that it disturbs the speaker. Please take note of this. Over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, PP Evaluator Toastmaster Prashanth, for that report. Round of applause for Prashanth, please. Just my reflection, as far as the Tab G reports, I feel that this maybe a year back or whenever it happened, whichever committee did it, I think this R counter, Grammarian, timer and PP evaluators, that report is taken seriously. A. B. They are also rewarded with whoever does a good job, which was not there. If Sai Snehal, if you remember, this was not there earlier, and that's a good practice. The role is taken seriously and voluntarily, and there's some preparation and some, that's very, very good. That is number one. And in this meeting, when Toastmaster Ujwal was talking about R counter and some blemishes here and there, it was very, very nice to know that he said there was absolutely no blemish on speaker A, B, C, whoever took that role. That was very, very interesting. And that's good. A round of applause for the TABG team, who did a wonderful job. Now, just a few points that I would like to reflect and say is, as far as the meeting, if we can start on time, just one or few minutes here and there, I think that will be wonderful, because the time we start the meeting and the time we end the meeting, both has a relevance. Very, very important. What time the meeting starts is one thing, but what time we are going to close. Are we going to close? The time we are supposed to close. That's very important. And that is one. And few things already told about the areas of improvement. And the general point of the meeting, if I want to reflect, a very good meeting in the sense theme was well discussed, word of the day was good, few used it, and a few would take home and they may use it in different groups and different circumstances and situations. And we had good number of guests today, and guests are important for the growth of the club, the reputation of the club, and if these guests become members, that adds and swells the number of members that we have. Humor was there today, occasionally. So that's it. Thank you all for the wonderful meeting 1024. Thank you, and back to MC of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravikumar. I hope you all had a great time today in the meeting. So lastly, I'd like to quote, there's a fine line between imagination and reality. An inventor dreams something up and pretty soon it's there upon the table. A science fiction writer envisions another world and makes it happen. If you believe in something strongly enough, you can make it happen. With that, I hand the charge back to President Gaurav.
It's okay, happens.
Emergency call.
It's fine, it's fine. It is, I'll take it. Before I jump into the winners of today, I'd like to call DTM K Prabhakara sir to induct few members who have joined this. Who's not
Please, you have something to say? No. Oh, you're taking photograph. So let me smile. This is a new member induction ceremony we hold so that members become, the new members become familiar with the, maybe older, I don't want to say, our members who are already members, so that there is a certain amount of cohesion and teamwork goes with their growth, or the new members' growth. So here I now, I call the members. Hrithik, Toastmaster Hrithik, yeah, please come. And Sindhushree, Toastmaster Sindhushree. Members in Toastmasters is a privilege, and the only way to gain the benefits of our program is to actively participate. Do you, Sindhushree and Hrithik, promise to be active members of this club, to attend meetings regularly and prepare fully for your duties?
Yes, I will.
Yes.
You have to tell
Yes,
them loudly.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Do you promise to fulfill the other points of Toastmasters promise?
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
Have you read? Please read it. It's important. And I request a VPE to please send the Toastmasters promise to them. They have signed without reading it. It's not correct. I request members to please rise from their seats. Do you members of Mekon Communication Club promise to support Sindhushree and Hrithik as they work through Toastmasters program?
Yes. Yes.
Please be seated. It is my pleasure to declare you two as installed members of our club. Please be here. You will be allotted mentors. You must have received email already from the Toastmasters International. And if you have not received, still you have to ask for mentors from VPE, he will allot. And one navigator link will be sent to you. So please go through that. So you will understand why we conduct the meeting the way we conduct. And we follow certain norms. And pathways, you will have to choose your own path. Otherwise, among the 11s that are available, or maybe you can choose your own if you don't feel comfortable with what you get as a recommendation. On this note, I would like to hand over the control back to the president.
Okay, so a very good meeting, I would say. I know I told this last week as well, but yeah, today's meeting was very nice for me because I could see a lot of people in this room. It's been a very long time. I've seen so many people. I'll be jumping off with the winners of today. Okay, just starting off with MTG. The best MTG goes to. It's actually a tie between the MC and General Evaluator, Toastmasters Jayanti and Toastmaster Abhishek. Coming to the best role taker of CAPG, it goes to our timer Toastmaster Raja. Okay, there are so many table topic speakers, so I'm just looking through the results properly. Okay. The best table topic speaker goes to Toastmasters Sai Snehal. Best evaluator goes to Toastmaster Lakshmi. And the best speaker for today gave me a very good life lesson how to survive in the corporate field, Toastmaster Ajay. Thank you everyone. Thank you for coming. Ensure you guys please come a little bit early so that we can start on time. I've been telling this every week. Yeah. So I close meeting number 1204 and I request everyone to rise for national anthem.